Good morning, Chair of the Department of Education and others. My name is Jody McCarty, and today's presentation is a study course LDT300x. The goal of this study is to determine best practices when designing an online course. The course, Instructional Design, Digital Media, New Tools, and Technology, was designed by Randall Henson and evaluated using QTIP, a QLC quality scorecard. The course design is very effective. With a toolbar that breaks information into clear sections, including course, progress, date, discussion, syllabus, and calendar, students can easily select the section they need. The label for course section is a bit vague and could be clarified with a short description like course material or weekly modules. However, within this page, the modules are separated by weeks, which makes it very easy to navigate. Students can click on the week in which they are working and find an overview, lecture, weekly assignments, upcoming assignments, as well as a Q&A discussion board for each week. While most online courses have a Q&A style discussion board, having a board for questions specific to the week's material is an excellent idea. We've all experienced frustration using a poorly designed website, and for students, this frustration could lead to failure. Researchers note that stress-free course navigation can help foster positive experiences with technology for students. And isn't that one of the goals for effective course design? Another effective feature of the course is the content, which includes clear connections between course material and assignments to their learning objectives. For example, in week 4's overview, 4 objectives are listed, including create and publish a short educational video. Within the lecture material for this unit, there are clear explanations of technology, including videos and helpful links to resources. The final assignment for the digital media unit, weeks 4 and 5, is a storyboard and video. And throughout the course, each module's content is explicitly linked to learning outcomes and course objectives. According to Amy James of Baylor University, extending your learning objectives into the design and content research guides and session work is vital in order to keep the work student-focused and consistent. While James is referring to a library research course, the same idea holds true for any course, including the LDT300x. Finally, according to the QTIP scorecard, LDT300x scored well in the Building a Community section. With a perfect score of 24 out of 24, the course begins with the welcome section that explains the course's purpose and its procedures. Most importantly, however, there is a demonstration course available, and it offers students an example of how to take a course like this one. Starting the course with the instructor's bio and an introduction discussion board, as well as providing clear expectations for what to expect in the course, allows students to not only get to know one another, but to also get to know the course. A strong community foundation is created when students feel welcome, have clear expectations, and understand where and how to get help. It's interesting that the course scored well in the Building a Community section, and yet instructor presence is the first area of concern. According to research, it's critical to understand at a detailed level the relationship between online interaction and learning. Specifically, how educationally effective interactions must be nurtured by instructors. While the course does offer a strong sense of community, there is a definite lack of student-teacher interactions. Yes, in areas where students ask direct questions, the instructors answer those questions. However, after reviewing multiple discussion threads, it is clear that the focus of the instructor and the teaching assistant involves answering questions and offering suggestions for resources rather than fostering critical thinking. The lack of rubrics is a weakness in LDT300x that cannot be ignored. In a study by Martin and Bollinger in the category of learner to instructor engagement, providing rubrics for all assignments was rated as the second most important engagement strategy in this category by the students. Not only do rubrics develop communication between students and instructors, rubrics provide students with clear expectations of how their work will be assessed. as well as providing students with an opportunity to receive specific feedback. Any course that does not offer rubrics is missing an essential tool students need. The next area for improvement involves accessibility, for which LDT300X scored a 3 out of 4. One error is a lack of alternative text for some images. For example, in Week 3 Digital Images Unit, under the Lecture section, there are two sample images, one with alt text and one without. However, the alternative text that is stated should appear when hovering over the image on the left does not. Now, to be fair, perhaps this is because the course has been archived. However, for learning purposes of this study, the example stands as an important reminder that accessibility requirements must not only be met, but must be checked and rechecked. Moving forward, there are strengths of LDT 300X that we must emulate. A user-friendly layout, content that is clearly connected to learning objectives and outcomes, and a strong sense of community that begins the very first time students log into the course. LDT 300X also reveals weaknesses that must be corrected. To create a presence, teachers not only questions and direct students to resources, but also must actively facilitate engaging discussion. Next, rubrics must be included for assignments in order for students to use those to ensure they are meeting expectations. And finally, we must check and recheck accessibility of the courses to ensure all students' needs are met. Thank you for your time. Are there any questions?